I was in love. And not the little crush kind either. I mean, the kind of love where you can see your whole future changing right in front of you. I was in my early 20s, living in Walterboro, South Carolina, working for the Colleton County Sheriff's Department, making maybe 15 or $16,000 a year, trying to raise my son by myself in a town so small you could drive across it in 10 minutes and still have time left over. So every now and then I would drive an hour to Charleston just to breathe a little different air. That's where I met him, on a dance floor, reggae music playing. And yes, I was the one who walked up to him first. Don't judge me. Sometimes you just know when something feels different. He was in college playing football, came from a close family, had a mother and a father and a brother, and the kind of household I had only really seen on shows like The Cosby Show growing up. And I used to tell him that too. I said, "Your family feels like something I only ever saw on television." But what mattered most to me wasn't where he came from. It was how he loved me and how he loved my son. When he was around, it didn't even feel like I was a single mother anymore. It just felt like we were building something together. We didn't have money. I had a little beat up Ford Escort. He had his college car. We shared meals, listened to Mary J. Blige and Joe on repeat, and thought life was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. Simple, peaceful, real. And then one day he gave me a ring. 30 years later, I still have it. That's how real it was to me. But life has a way of showing you things you're not ready to see yet. I remember the first time I met his father. We went to dinner after one of his football games, and I overheard his father tell him that he did not belong with somebody like me. He called me a floozy. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, that broke something inside me because what I heard in that moment wasn't just an insult. What I heard was that I wasn't worthy of the life he came from. And what hurt even more was he didn't protect me. He didn't say anything. And at that time in my life, I didn't have the language for it yet, but I knew one thing for sure: love without protection doesn't feel safe. So I walked away, not because I didn't love him, but because I loved myself enough to know I deserved to be defended. Life moved on. Years passed, decades passed, and recently we saw each other again right here in Houston. He met my other children for the first time. We spent a weekend catching up, laughing, talking, remembering who we used to be. And at dinner one night, he said something that stayed with me. He said, "If life had stayed the same course, I would have had 3 children and some grandchildren by now." And I knew exactly what he meant. He meant my children, my family, the life we almost had. Now, I could have been messy. I could have tried to restart something with a married man, but that has never been who I am. Timing matters, respect matters, and the season for us had already passed. But what that weekend taught me at 51 years old is something I didn't understand in my 20s. Sometimes the right person shows up before you know your own worth. And sometimes walking away isn't losing love. Sometimes it's choosing yourself. So if you've ever loved someone and still had to walk away from them because you knew you deserved protection, peace, and respect, I want you to share that in the comments. Not for judgment, but so somebody else reading your story understands they're not the only one who had to make that kind of choice. And if this conversation spoke to you, pull a chair up. We're walking this journey together.